Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Audible. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, yes, Vedant. Good able to see the screen?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what topic we have completed Vedant last class?
Ma'am, I think last class I wasn't attend the class due to fever, ma'am.
Yes, last class I also did not take that. No one joined.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
So I also did not take. So previously we have completed before last week.
Yeah, let me say, ma'am, 1 minute.
Yeah, that we discussed about the first lesson of your chapter, sexual reproduction in the plants, right?
Yes, madam.
We have discussed about what is that?
We dealt with the
About the
pollen grains and
ah,
some properties
yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes. I didn't start. Wait.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
and male gametophyte,
So we have
then
discussed
the
in the
female.
last class about what is that? What is flower, right? Sir, it's
Yes,
okay.
madam.
No.
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am, it is better, ma'am.
This
Yeah,
is
now
better.
better.
This is much better. The
Yes, sir.
longitudinal is much better.
Yes, yes, sir. So last class we have discussed about the male, that is female genital flower. So in flower we have discussed about male reproductive parts, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Veda. So
Yes,
in
ma'am.
male reproductive parts, so we have discussed about what is male gamete, about the pollen grains, about the pollen walls. So everything we have discussed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So about the pistil, about the filament, anther, the transverse section of anther, and what are the different layer? Okay, epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, and the nutritive layer, that is tapetum. So we all these things we have discussed in the last class. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and also we have discussed about the pollen grains. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
male gametophyte and how it is formed. Okay, two cells are formed. One is a generative cells and another one is the tube cells. So this also we have discussed. Yes, and
Yes,
structure
ma'am.
of pollen grain we have discussed. Outer layer, inner layer. Outer layer have a germ pore. Okay, through the germ pore only the digestions will be takes place. Yes, and
Yes, ma'am.
the layer pollen layers are made up of sporopollenin. Yes, so
Yes, ma'am.
sporopollenin will help the pollen grains to withstand the what is that atmosphere in the long time. So we have discussed, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
now we are going with the discussion about what is that? A female reproductive part. Okay. So the female reproductive part we can call it as what is that? Pistil and carpel. Okay. Or megasporangium. We can call pistil, carpel, and megasporangium. Okay. So this is the names we can give for what? A female reproductive parts. Yes. So the female reproductive part, which is made up of three parts, right? Okay. So female reproductive part, which is made up of three parts. They are one is the long tubular part is called as what is that? Style. The tip of the style. Okay. The tip of the style we have what is that? This. We have female reproductive part is made up of three parts. One is the long tubular part, which is called as a style. The tip of the style is called as what is that? A sticky in nature, and it is called stigma. And the next one, the ovary. Okay, so the base swollen part. The base swollen part is called as female the ovary. Okay, here only the ovules will be produced. Yes, here only the ovules will be produced. So this is the structure of what is that female reproductive parts. That also we have discussed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, and so female reproductive parts. How the male reproductive parts we can call it as a stamen. For female reproductive parts, we can also called as what is that? Stamen, andrecium for male. A female for we are can called as pistil, carpel, and also we can called as what is that? Gynecium. Yes,
Yes,
we can
ma'am.
call it as what is that? Gynecium. Okay, and also they are megasporophilous. They are microsporophilous. Here we can call it as what is that? Megasporophilous. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it is in the flower. If you see these carpels, that is a female in female reproductive parts. If you see in some plants which are united, the female reproductive parts are united. Okay, for example, hibiscus flowers are there, right? If you see
Yes, ma'am.
hibiscus plants, the male reproductive parts and female reproductive parts we have, okay, it is united. Okay, example, hibiscus and pepper and all. But in the anona, for example, sita padam சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, anona. So these plants, if you see the female reproductive parts வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும்னா ஃப்ரீயா இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? And we know that three parts: style, stigma and ovary. Okay, so the terminal end, okay, which is called as the stigma. The stigma உடைய general characteristic whenever you want to know, so that is a sticky nature and it has a nutrients. Sticky nature and it has nutrients. When the pollen grains fall to the stigma region, when the pollen grains are fall to the stigma region, okay, this nutrient will supply to what is that? Pollen grains, and it start to germinate. Okay, with help of this nutrient only, the pollen grains will be germinate and form the pollen tube towards the style. Towards the style. Okay, va? And so this is the about the general nature of the stigma. And what is style function? Na? The style is the long tubular part. Okay, the pollen tube grow towards the style and which carry the male gamete to the where? Ovary. Male gamete to the ovary. That is the general characteristic of the style. And the next one is the ovary. Okay, the ovary, inside the ovary we have what is that? Ovules. Okay, inside the ovary we have it is a swollen basal part, and inside the ovary we have what? Ovules. Okay, after the fertilization, the ovary become a fruit. So we are having a fruit, right? The fruit is, okay, modification of ovary only. So after the fertilization, the ovary become a fruit. Okay, va? This thing you want to know. Okay, and the next thing, so what is the structure of megasporangium? So we are going to see. Okay, and ovary, if you see, take a ovary, swollen basal part, I told ovary, right? So this ovary also, it is different in different organisms. For example, if you see, only one ovule is present. Only one ovule is present in the where? In a paddy, please make a note of it. Paddy, wheat, sunflower. Paddy, wheat, sunflower. Okay, they have what is that? Only one ovary. Okay, so the ovary, only one, the ovary contain only one ovule. And more ovules are present in the papaya, watermelon, orchid plants and all. Okay, it has what is that? Many ovules. Okay, and this ovary where it is attached அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, the ovaries are attached in the placenta. Ovary where it is attached? The attached in the placenta. Okay, so the
Ovules are
ovule,
ovary.
sir,
Ovules are ovary, ma'am. Placenta.
no. First the swollen part is called as ovary. Okay,
Yes.
some ovary contain only one ovule. Example, wheat, paddy, sunflower, they have only one ovule. Okay, and papaya, watermelon, orchids, these have a, what is that? More ovules. Okay, these ovules are attached to the placenta. Ovary is not. The ovules வந்து எங்க attach ஆயிருக்கு?
Placenta.
Placenta, not ovary. Ovary is not attached. Ovules are attached to the placenta. Okay. Okay. Ovules are attached to placenta. I think you have studied about axial placentation, parietal placentation, marginal placentation. Have you studied anything about it?
Yes, ma'am. The 6 types of placentation.
Yes. Okay. So further it will come. We'll explain. I'll explain to you. Okay. So ovules are attached to the placenta. Okay, na? And each ovule, if you see, each ovule contain large embryo sac at maturity. Yes, large embryo sac at maturity. Yes. Okay. So the embryo sac, if you take in an embryo sac, it has a 8 cell. How many cell is there? 8 cell, but we can say 7-celled stage only. Okay. So salasal region, antipodal region, okay, and center polar nuclei. Okay, so inside the ovule we have, what is that? Each ovule contain, what is that? Large embryo sac at maturity. Okay, so this ovary become a fruit and the ovule become, what is that? A seed after the fertilization. After the fertilization. Any doubt, Amma?
No, ma'am.
Is it clear now?
Clear, ma'am.
And if you see, we have a carpels. Carpels, na, inside the ovary, we have some of the locules. Okay, so in Tamil வந்து நம்ம அரைன்னு சொல்லிக்கலாம். Okay, so if you see in some single pistil also present na, it is called monocarpellary. Okay, and if the more than one pistil na, then it is called as, what is that? Multicarpellary. Okay, multicarpellary. ஓகே சோ ஐ திங்க் மோனோகார்பல்னா சிங்கிள் பிஸ்டில், ஒரே ஒரு பிஸ்டில் மட்டும் இருந்துச்சுன்னா, the gynoecium may consist of only one pistil, monocarpellary. They have consist more than one pistil na, multicarpellary. Okay, and this ovules also, if you see, more than one, the pistils may be fused together. If these pistils may be fused together na, it is called as syncarpus, and may be free na, it is called as apocarpus. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is monocarpellary?
Ma'am, if
What is
the flower consists only single pistil, then it's called monocarpellary.
yeah, single pistil? Then it is called as monocarpellary. Okay. And if it is more than one pistil, then it is called as multicarpellary. Okay. And if also the pistils may be fused. If the pistils are fused, then it is called as, what is that? Syncarpus. If the pistils are free, then it is called as, what is that? Apocarpus. Then it is called as apocarpus. So this also we want to know. Actually, the brief explanation, the finally I'll give. Okay, then only you will understand. First the structure I will complete. Everything I'll finish it and I'll come what is monocarpellary. That structures and all I'll show you. Okay, so this is what about the general characters. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So the next one, we are going with, what is that? Structure of megasporangium. Yes. Shall I move?
Yeah, we can see, ma'am.
This is the, okay, structure of, what is that? Megasporangium. Okay. If you see a megasporangium or ovule, where it is attached, I told. Where it is attached. The ovule, where it is
Placenta.
attached. Huh?
Placenta.
Placenta. Very good. Okay. So the megasporangium or the ovule, which is developed from the where? Placenta in the ovary only. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So it has, okay, it is very small, and generally an ovule structure, it consists of, what is that? A central, okay, a small tissue it has. Okay. Central, it has a small tissue we have. That small tissue is called as nucellus. What is that named as? Nucellus. What is the mean? What is nucellus? Can you see this, ma? The entire slide?
Uh,
Can you see this? The structure?
Ma'am, it will be helpful if you place it horizontally, ma'am.
Hmm?
Now okay, ma'am.
But it's a half only it's showing to me. For you, it's visible.
No, ma'am. For me also it's half, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, or else
You know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the structure alone I'll explain.
Or else
Okay.
I will do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This figure is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you see the central in the ovule or megasporangium, if you take the central region, a central body is made up of some of the tissues. The tissue is called as what is that? Nucellus tissue. Okay. The nucellus have abundant reserve food materials. Okay. And it is surrounded by what is that? Two integument. It is drawn here. Okay. The nucellus, which is surrounded by what is that? The center, we have a tissue, which is called as a nucellus. And it is surrounded by the two membrane. Okay. One is outer integument and another one is what is that? Inner integument. The nucellus main function is reserve food material. Store the what is that? Food material. Okay, so this is what about the nucellus. The first inner layer, innermost part is nucellus. It is a tissue which is store the reserve food materials and it is covered by the outer and inner integument. Okay, now yes. And the next one is the ovule. Okay, so the ovule is attached to the placenta. I told now the ovule will develop or attached to the placenta. I told right. Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the ovule is attached to the placenta. How it is attached? அப்படின்னா ஏதாவது ஒரு part needed சரியா அது attach ஆகிறதுக்கு. Yes. The small stalk is called as funiculus. The small structure is called as what is that? Funiculus. How the ovule is attached to the placenta? How the ovule is attached to the placenta? Yes, with the help of the funiculus. Okay, and if you see the place of attachment of stalk with the main body of ovule is called as hilum. This part, hilum. The place where the funicles attached with the ovule, this region is called as what is that? Hilum. 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 Any doubt? What is
No,
the
ma'am.
central tissue is called as nucellus. The nucellus reserve food material and it is covered by the two integument, outer integument and inner integument. Okay. And next to the nucellus, the ovule which is attached to the what is that? Placenta with help of the small stalk which is called as funiculus. Which is called as funiculus. Okay. This funiculus that is the ovule. It is attached with the region which is called as hilum. Okay, which is called as what is that? Hilum. Okay, and if you see in an inverted ovule, if you see in a inverted ovule, this is the condition of what is that? In a inverted ovule. One second, ma, it's not. Okay, in a inverted ovule. Okay, and the funiculus fuse with the main body of the what is that? Ovule. It's forming the short ridge, which form the what is that? Short ridge. Okay, so this is known as raphe. Okay, in a inverted ovule. In a inverted ovule, see this. In a inverted ovule, this is the condition of inverted ovule. In a inverted ovule, is it clear? Am I audible? In inverted ovule, what happened? The funiculus fuse with what is that? Main body of the ovule. Okay, and form what is that? Small ridge, small part it will be formed, which is called as raphe. R-A-P-H-E. Okay, hilum என்னது? The place of attachment of stalk with the main body of ovule is called as hilum. In an inverted condition, the funiculus which is attached with the main body is known as what is that? Raphe. Okay, and if you see the major part of ovule வந்து எதுன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா that is nucellus only. Okay, va? So that is a nucellus only. Okay, this is the main part of the what is that? The megasporangium. Okay, and there is a micropylar region. So this is the micropylar region. Okay, there are small opening at the apex of the integument. At the tip of the integument, there is a small opening we have. This is called as micropyle. Through this micropyle only, the pollen tube will release the what? Male gametes to the what? Where? The egg. Male gametes இந்த micropyle மூலமா தான் it will release inside the what is that? The ovule. Okay. Yes. And in the posterior end, in this posterior end, which is called as salasa, the salasa will be formed due to the fusion of nucellus, integument, and funiculus. Three fuse together, which is called as what is that? Salasa. Okay, va?
In inverted ovule only we have seen Raphe, ma'am.
Yes. What, amma?
மேம் இன்வெர்டட் ஓவியூல மட்டும்தான் ரஃபே பார்க்க முடியுங்களா இல்ல வெர்டிகல் ஓவியூலையும் பார்க்கலாமா?
இன்வெர்டட்ல மட்டும்தான் நம்மளால பார்க்க முடியும். Hilum is a structure, the part, the funicles which is attached to the ovule கூட attach ஆகிற பார்ட்டுக்கு பேரு hilum. Raphe வந்து we could able to see only in the what is that? Inverted ovule only. Okay, va?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. And inverted ovule na, so normally when we see the normal, when we take a cross section, it will be what is that? The normal position you could able to see. Okay, but the position if it is changed, okay, when we take a cross section, okay, if it is normally when we observe, we could able to see all the structures. When we take a cross section and it will be changing the position of the place, we will have what is that? The condition will be changed. That is the condition you could able to see the structures. Okay. And the next, where the site of fertilization takes place. The site of fertilization will be, what is that? In a ovary only. Where is the site of fertilization takes place? In a ovary only. Okay, va? And the female gametophyte, that is the egg cells which is present in the ovary. In this ovary only, what happened? The fertilization will be takes place. So this is the structure of what? The microsporangium. Okay. Yes, microsporangium. So what are they? First, what is the innermost layer tissue? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, nucellus.
Nucellus, very good. What is the main function of nucellus?
Ma'am, it stores food.
Stores food. What is the major part of the megasporangium? Major part of the megasporangium is nucellus only. What is that?
Nucellus.
Nucellus is the major part of the megasporangium. Okay, the nucellus is covered by how many membrane?
Two integument.
Okay, what are they? One is outer integument and another one is what is that? Inner integument, right? And the how the ovule is attached to the what is that? Ovary?
Placenta. Ma'am, with the help of funiculus.
Ovule is attached in placenta. How it is attached? With help of funiculus. Okay, va? And the place of attachment of stalk, the main body which is called as
Ma'am, hilum.
the stalk which it is attached with the main body of ovule. No, it is called as
Hilum.
hilum or hilum. Okay. And inverted ovule, what you could able to see?
Raphe.
Raphe. Okay, va? Inverted ovule, the main body, the funicles fuse with what is that? The main body, it will form what is that? Raphe. Okay. And so the next one is the apex, the small apex, especially it is a anterior region. In anterior region, when the integument join together, there is a small apex opening is there. What is the opening name?
Micropyle.
What is the role of micropyle?
Ma'am, the male gametophytes will enters and fuses with the egg.
Yes. Okay. Very good. In the posterior end, what is made up of?
Chalasa.
How the chalasa will made up of?
Integuments and nucellus fuse together.
Very good. Integument, nucellus, and funiculus fuse together.
Yes.
Where the nucellus, integument, and funiculus fuse together is called as what is that? Chalasa. Okay, va? Yes. So where the fertilization takes place?
The embryo sac.
In embryo sac. Okay, in embryo sac it takes place. In embryo sac, that is in a ovary only, right?
Yes.
So we have to say ovary. Embryo sac, okay. The embryo sac where it is not, that is in ovary, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, in ovary only. Okay, na?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so this is what the main function of what is it? This is the main structure of what? Megasporangium. Okay, now we are going with what is megasporogenesis. We are going with what is that? What is megasporogenesis? Funiculus help the attachment of ovule with the placenta. Ovule is attached to the ovary. Hilum, the body of ovule fused with the funiculus point. Nucellus, nourishment to developing embryo. Okay, nucellus. Okay, it is also sometimes this nucellus is less, then it is equal to what is that? Tenin nucellate. And if the nucellus is plenty, and it is called as crest nucellate, it is additional only. Okay, and micropyle end, there is the pollen tube will enter. Okay, it is in the anterior region. Chalazal end, the place where integument, funiculus, and also what is that? What are they? Nucellus, integument, and funiculus fused together. Chalazal end. Integument when the outer or inner protect the tissue. Embryo sac contain embryo which develop into what is that? A seed. So the next one is what is that? Megasporogenesis. So what is a megasporogenesis? The process of what is that? Microsporogenesis, the formation of pollen grains, right? The same way, megasporogenesis, the formation of megaspores from the megaspore mother cell. Okay, okay, which is formed inside the ovule, which is called as megasporogenesis. Okay, what is megasporogenesis? The process of formation of what is that? Megaspores. Okay, from the megaspore mother cell, which is called as megasporogenesis. Okay, na? Yes. So, how the megasporogenesis takes place, that we are going to see now. Okay. First, one the in the nucellus towards the micropyle end, yes. Okay. Develop an archisporial cells. Archisporial cells will be developed towards the what is that? In a micropyle end. In a micropyle end, there is archisporial cells will be formed. Yes. So generally the ovules are okay differentiate into single megaspore mother cell in the micropyle region of the nucellus. Okay, na? So this one will be changed as the ovules. Generally, the ovules வந்து என்னவா change ஆகுது? The ovules will differentiate in a single megaspore mother cell in the micropylar region. Okay. So the later, the large cell contain this, it is a microspore, megaspore mother cell is there, na? First one, the ovules will change into megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell, where it is changing na, in the micropylar region. This megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division. Okay, so as a result, we will get what is that? The 4 applied megaspores will be formed. So majority of the angiosperm, only one megaspore is functional while other 3 are degenerate. Okay, now, and during the megasporogenesis, one nucellar cell at micropylar end and form the archisporial cells. And this archisporial cells divide to form what is that? Primary parietal cells. Okay, and further division, primary sporogenous cells, which leads to the formation of what is that? Megaspore mother cell diploid, which is undergo what is that? Successive meiotic division to form haploid megaspore, and which are arranged in the linear tetrad. Okay, so nothing. First one, what is megasporogenesis na? Megasporogenesis na, from the ovule. Okay, the megaspore mother cells are formed na, which is called as megaspore mother cells. So where it takes place na, this megaspore mother cell differentiate in the micropylar region of the nucellus. First, the microspore mother cell, what will happen na, megaspore mother cell, sorry, okay, is undergo meiotic division. 4 haploids are formed. 4 haploids la, the one megaspore only functional. The majority of the angiosperm, one megaspore is functional. Remaining 3 வந்து என்ன ஆகுது? Degenerate ஆகுது. Okay. And during the megasporogenesis, one nucellar cell that is at a micropylar end form the archisporial cells. What cells are formed? Okay,
Archipore.
micropylar. Towards the micropylar end, what cells are formed? Archiporial cells are formed. During the megasporogenesis form ஆகும்போது one nucellar cell at the micropyle end வந்து form the archiporial cell. This archiporial cells வந்து divide to form what is that? Primary parietal cell. Okay, and primary sporogenous cells. The archiporial cells வந்து ரெண்டா டிவைட் ஆகி நமக்கு என்ன ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது? ஒன்னு பிரைமரி பெரைட்டல் செல், இன்னொன்னு வந்து என்னது? பிரைமரி ஸ்போரோஜெனஸ் செல்ஸ் வந்து ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது. Which leads to the formation of what is that? Megaspore mother cell diploids. This diploid megaspore mother cells வந்து undergo what is that? Again two successive meiotic division form ஆகி to form what is that? Four applied megaspores are formed which are arranged in the linear tetrad. Linear tetrad. I think you got my point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the first one? From the ovule, megaspore mother cells are formed, right? So the megaspore mother cells வந்து என்ன ஆகுது? Undergo what division?
Meiotic division.
Meiotic division. Meiotic division ஆகும்போது how many applied force are formed?
4.
4 is formed. So 4 la how many is function? How many will disintegrate?
3 disintegrate, 1 functional.
3 disintegrate, 1 functional. Okay. So the megaspore undergo, the one functional one is there, no? It is undergo what division?
Mitotic.
During the same 3 degenerate, right? So when the one cell is formed, right? And that cell towards the nucellar micropylar end form the what is that? Archisporial cells will be formed. Okay, this archiporial cells வந்து what undergo what division? Okay, the archiporial cells are formed, okay, at towards the micropylar end. This archiporial cells only divide to form what is that? Parietal cells and primary sporogenous cells. Okay, what will be formed? Archiporial cell divide, okay, form what is that? Parietal cells and inner sporogenous cells will be formed. Two cells are formed, right? Parietal cell and primary. So இதுல வந்து parietal cells வந்து inner cell. Sorry, the parietal cells வந்து என்னது? Outer cells. The inner cells வந்து sporogenous cells. Now the parietal cells வந்து again repeatedly undergo what is that? Mitosis division. Okay, mitosis division and add what is that? More cells in the nucellus. Okay, so the sporogenous cells will function as what is that? Megaspore mother cell. Okay, so megaspore mother cells are வந்து act ஆகுது. Up to now any doubt?
No, ma'am.
I think you didn't get a clarity here, right? After this 4 cells are formed, one cell will act as what is that? One cell will act as a megaspore and other 3 are degenerate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. After that, during this process when it takes place, towards the micropylid region, archiporial cells வந்து ஃபார்ம் ஆகுதுமா. இந்த ஆர்கிபோரியல் செல்ஸ் வந்து டிவைட் ஆகி 2 செல் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுது. ஒன்னு வந்து பெரைட்டல் செல் ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது, இன்னொன்னு வந்து என்னதுன்னா ஸ்போரோஜினஸ் செல்ஸ் ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது. இந்த பெரைட்டல் செல்ஸ் வந்து ஓகே அவுட்டரா ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது, இன்னரா ஸ்போரோஜினஸ் செல்ஸ் ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது. ஓகே, இந்த பெரைட்டல் செல்ஸ் வந்து அண்டர்கோ மைட்டாட்டிக் டிவிஷன். Parietal cells we have, right? Undergo mitotic division அடிஞ்சு add more cells to the nucellus. And the sporogenous cells வந்து which is act as what is that? Microspore. What is that? Megaspore mother cell வந்து act ஆகுது. Yes, and sometimes if you see this archiporial cell which is not undergo division. If it is undergo division, it will form primary parietal cells, sporogenous cells. But sometimes in most of the angiosperms, which is directly will act as what is that? Microspore mother cells act ஆகுது. Okay, now this sporogenous cell, that is a microspore mother cell is there na, which is undergo what is that? Reduction division. Which is undergo what is that? Reduction or successive to mitotic division or reduction division to form what is that? 4 tetrad applied megaspores are formed. Okay, so it is arranged in the linear. It is arranged in the linear. Okay, so only in this structure, the salasal megaspore only what is that? Functional. Okay, other 3 வந்து என்னது? Degenerate. Okay, and later the functional megaspore will develop as what is that? The female gamete. Okay, so the megaspore will develop as what is that? Female gamete. Okay, so the functional gametophyte form the female gametophyte are embryo sacs, and the nucellus of the megaspore divide again mitotically. Only karyokinesis and 8 daughter nuclei all will be haploid. So the 3 nuclei migrate to micropyle end, and it's surrounded by the cytoplasm to form egg apparatus. And three will move towards the what is that? Chalasal region, that is antipodal cells. In the micropyle region, we have a 3 cells, right? In the 3 cells, one egg apparatus, two another synergids. And other 3 nuclei migrate towards the chalasal end and get surrounded by what is that? 3 antipodal cells. So actually, these antipodal cells, after the fertilization takes place, now automatically they get disintegrate. There is no much any advantages with the antipodal cells. And 2 nuclei migrate to the middle and form the 2 polar nuclei. Actually, this question they have asked this time board question. Okay, they form what is that? Secondary nucleus with the central cell. So thus 8 nucleated. Make a note of it. Actually, it is 8 nucleated. Okay, but 7 celled embryo sac is formed. 7 celled embryo sac is formed. Okay, in the center 2 polar nuclei, we will consider one only. So, but 8 nucleated சொல்லிக்கலாம், but 7 celled stage சொல்லுவோம். Okay, so this is monosporic. Okay, it has developed from the one megaspore, no? So it is called as monosporic, 7 celled, 3 antipodals, 1 egg cells, and it is 8 nucleated embryo sac is called as polygonum type of embryo sac. So this is what about the what? The development of megaspore female gamete or megaspore mother cell. Okay, va? So shall I recap one more time?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what is yeah, you just tell me if the point, if you are missing now, I will come to your point. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I will
Yes.
say from the definition.
Yeah.
The process, ma'am, it is a process in which the haploid megaspores are formed
Mm.
from diploid megaspore mother cell.
Okay.
In this, the
Mm.
archisporial cells
Mm.
towards the micropylar end divides
Mm.
to form primary parietal and primary sporogenous cell.
Very good.
Before
Primary
that,
parietal
the
is the inner layer, outer layer.
parietal is outer layer and sorry,
Mm.
sporogenous is yes, parietal is outer layer, sporogenous is inner layer.
Okay. Okay. So the inner sporogenous cells. What is the function of parietal cells?
Ma'am, parietal cells add more cells in the nucleus.
Yes. Very good. Then what about the sporogenous cells?
Ma'am, the sporogenous cell then it forms the megaspore mother cell after
Yeah. It is.
reduction division.
Yeah, okay, very good. And sometimes what happen in archiporial cell, it is undergo divide or directly will change. In some of the angiosperms, it is not undergo division. Archiporial cell is there, na, the cell which is formed towards the micropylar region. Okay, directly which is act as what is that? Megaspore mother cell act agum. Okay, va?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now the megaspore mother cell undergo what division?
Ma'am, reduction, that is meiosis, reduction
Reduction
division.
division to form what is that? Tetrads are
Four
formed.
peptide.
It is arranged. The tetrads are.
Yes, ma'am.
How it is arranged? The tetrad எப்படி arrange ஆயிருக்கு?
Ma'am, linearly.
Linear. Very good. Okay. So among the four, what will happen?
Among the four, the three degenerates like the
Two,
three
three degenerate
degenerates
and one will act as what is that?
megaspore mother cell.
Megaspore mother cell or female gametophyte. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next, what will happen? How the development of this? Now we've got a female gametophyte, right?
Yeah, female
Ah,
gametophyte.
yeah, right. Female gametophyte or megaspore, we got it. Okay. Now, how this female gametophyte undergo changes?
Ma'am, it moves towards the micropylar end.
Yes. Okay. So it will move towards the what is that? Opposite poles. What will
Oh,
happen?
yes.
Yeah,
Moves towards
move
the
towards the
opposite.
what is that? the opposite end and undergo what division?
Meiotic division.
Mitotic division. What division?
Oh, mitotic division.
Mitotic division. Mitotic division, as a result, how many nucleus will be formed? Four nucleus.
Eight.
Four
What?
nucleate. Again, the four nucleate, later it will form what is that? Eight nucleate stage.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Understood what happened? Okay. Megaspore, that is megaspore or female gametophyte we got, right? So this female gametophyte which is moved towards the poles of the embryo sac. When it is reached the poles of the embryo sac, it is undergo what? Mitotic division. It is undergo mitotic division. So mitotic division undergo, it will form what is that? Four nucleate. Later this four nucleate undergo again mitotic division to form what is that? Eight nucleate stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it? Yes, eight nucleate stages are formed. Okay, so the eight nucleated megaspore is called as what is that? Embryo sac. So embryo sac nale ennade? Eight nucleated megaspore. Okay, va? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you got it. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
here how the nucleus are arranged? Eight nucleate stage. So three cells are which is present in the where?
Ma'am, at micropylar end, at cell end, and
Micropylar
center.
end three, antipodal end three, center polar nucleus. So micropylar end, what are the nucleus cells are arranged? Two plus one. What are they?
Ma'am, they are the single six.
Hmm?
Ma'am, at micropylar end, ma'am.
Micropylar end, we have a two plus one cell. What are the two plus one cell?
Ma'am, the final six.
One is egg cell and another two is synergids. In the cell region, we have what is that? Three antipodal cells. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And center we have what is that? Polar nuclei.
Polar
Am I
nuclei.
right? Yes. Okay. So polar nuclei we have. Okay. So generally the angiosperm embryo sac at maturity, how we can say that? 8 nucleate is 7 celled. என்னன்னு சொல்லலாம் நம்ம?
Seven
8
cell.
nucleate. 8 nucleate with 7 celled ன்னு சொல்லலாம்.
Seven cell
ஓகே
with
ஸோ
nuclei.
நியூக்ளியேட் இந்த எம்ப்ரியோ சாக் வந்து ஒரு சிங்கிள் மெகாஸ்போர்ல இருந்து தான் ஃபார்ம் ஆயிருக்கு இல்லையா?
Embryo. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, from the single megaspore only it is formed, right? So it is called as, this type is called as
Megasporosis.
monosporic development. இதுக்கு பேர் என்னது?
Monosporic.
Make a note of it. The embryo sac formation from single functional megaspore is called as
Monosporic development.
monosporic development. Okay, so this is the monosporic embryo sac only. Generally, it is identical in all the angiospermic plant. Okay, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you got it. How the development and how the megasporogenesis is formed.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear, ma?
Yes, clear.
This is the structure. Okay. So nucellus, megaspore mother cells. Okay. It will move towards the opposite poles to form the four nucleus. Then eight nucleus stage will be formed. Okay. It is arranged as a tetrad. Okay. This is the one opposite pole movement and two nucleus. Again, four nucleus. So eight cell stage. Then the synergids, egg cells, central polar nuclei, and antipodal cells. So finally, you will get what is that? This is the what? The mature embryo sac. This is the monosporic development. What development it is? Monosporic development because it is developed from the single megaspore. Okay, developed from the single megaspore. Okay, va? So this is. And so there are types of ovules we have. Okay, types of ovules you have, it is additional only. First one வந்து arthrotrophus. Second one வந்து cercinotrophus. And third one வந்து anatrophus. That is based on the fusion only. And hemianatrophus and amphitrophus and camphylotrophus. So what is the arthrotrophus? Actually, it is not in your textbook. Just make a note. Arthrotrophus ovules, na, it is a straight or erect ovule. Okay, here the micropyle lie at one pole, while the chalaza and helium at the opposite pole. Thus, the micropyle, chalaza, helium lies at the same vertical plane, Okay, example beetle leaf and pepper. இதுல எல்லாமே. So it is arthropteryx. So this is first one, arthropteryx. Artho, arthrotrophus, sorry, arthrotrophus ovule. It is a straight. Okay. Here, micropyle at one pole, while the chalazal and hilum lie at the opposite poles. Chalazamu, hilamu வந்து என்னது opposite pole ல இருக்கும். Okay. So the three at same vertical plane ல இருந்துச்சுன்னா, which is called as arthrotrophus ovule. And next one, the cercinotrophus ovule. So it is in the upright position of ovule. Okay. So cercinotrophus, it is upright position, the B1. It is the upright position of the ovule. Upright position of ovule is achieved by the, what is that, complete rotation of the body. It is straight position na arthrotrophus ma. So three, the micropyle region, chalasal region, hilum, all arranged in the same position, same plane. And cercinotrophus na, it is in the form of upright position na, it's called as cercinotrophus. And anatrophus ovule na, it is the inverted type of ovule. Anatrophus. Okay. Somebody asks, no, what is inverted position? So this condition is called as, what is that? Inverted trophus. Okay, inverted position. First straight position. The second one is, what is that? Upright position. The third one is, what is that? Inverted type. Okay, so one side. So the integments on one side is partially fused with the funicles, forming the region is known as raphe. Okay. You got it. Raphe என்னது? Anatrophus ovule தான் we have, what is that, raphe. Other than that எதுலயுமே கிடையாது. Example pea plant, gram, castor, இது எல்லாமே example. Next வந்து hemi anatrophus. இது வந்து transverse type ovule. Their chalazal and micropylar are perpendicular to the funicle. So hemi anatrophus, the D. Okay, perpendicular both chalazal region. Okay, and the funicles. And next amphitrophus ovule. So the intermediate between arthrotrophus and anatrophus. Arthrotrophus க்கும் anatrophus க்கும் இடையில வர்றது தான் என்னது? The amphitrophus. Okay. So here the ovules வந்து lie at right angle to the funicles. Example poppy. And next one வந்து campylotrophus. Okay. So this is what? A curved one. The curved one. Okay. It is a horseshoe shaped. So we can call it as, what is that? Horseshoe shaped. Okay. And generally we used to follow, that is anatrophus ovule only. Okay, நம்ம diagrammatic explanation of anatrophus ovule we are going with that. Okay, and campylotrophus வந்து the body of ovule get curved or bent around like a horseshoe shape. Okay, so that the micropyle funicles and salasa come at line one pole, but there is no fusion of funicles with the integument. Okay, funicles வந்து integument கூட என்ன ஆயிருக்காது, fusion ஆயிருக்காது. So this is called as, what is that? Campylotrophus ovule. Okay. So what is the next topic is about the pollination. We'll go with the pollination. So what is pollination? I think easy topic. You all know what is pollination.
Transfer of pollen from anther of a
Transfer
flower
of
to
pollen
stigma.
from, what is that? Anther to the stigma, which is called as, what is that? Pollination. What are the two types of pollination?
Self and cross pollination.
Self and cross pollination. So before self and cross pollination, we can also say, what is that? Direct pollination and indirect pollination. Okay, see. Okay, so what is a direct pollination? Now the pollen grains are transferred to the micropyle of ovule directly. Okay, directly if it is transferred. For example, in a gymnosperms are there, right? In gymnosperms, the pollen grains are transferred to the micropyle of the ovule directly. Example, gymnosperms. Indirect pollination, the ovules are enclosed with ovary in the angiosperms, right? Yes. Gymnosperms from the naked seeds. Okay, Vedant. Okay, you know, right? Gymnosperms have naked seeds. Okay, so the pollen grains are directly, it is transferred to, what is that? Ovule. So it is a direct pollination. But if you take in angiosperms, the ovules are enclosed by the ovary. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So for this, we need, what is that? Some of the pollinating agent. So then it is called as, what is that? Indirect pollination. Yes. And so what do you mean by clistogamy? So you know that self-pollination, which is also known as, what is that? Autogamy. So what is autogamy? It's also known as self-pollination. What is that? The transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the, what is that? Anther to the stigma of same plant or and same flower also. Okay, it is termed as autogamy. And allogamy or xenogamy. What is this? It is called as cross-pollination, right? The transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of, what is that? Different plant. Okay, same plant, either on the same plant or on the, what is that? Different plant of the same species. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
called allogamy. Got it? Autogamy na ஒரே பிளான்ட் ஒரு பிளான்ட் ஃப்ளவர் கடையில நடந்துச்சுன்னா அது வந்து என்னது செல் பாலினேஷன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சி, இது வந்து செல் பாலினேஷன். ஒரே ஃப்ளவர்லயே ஒரு ஃப்ளவர்ல இருந்து இன்னொரு ஃப்ளவருக்கு போச்சுன்னா வாட் இஸ் த நேம் டேஸ்?
Self.
Cross
Cross
pollination.
pollination. Got it? Vedant?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower is called as autogamy. Okay. And it is generally occur in the, what is that? Bisexual flower. Yes. And it takes place between the two flowers of same species, na, which is called as, what is that? The allogamy or xenogamy. And what do you mean by another one gamy we have? What is that? Chesmogamy. CHASMO. Chesmogamy. What is that name? Make a note of it. It is a pollination occur in open flower. Okay. Pollination occur in the open flower. Okay. Here, the sex organs are exposed out. In chesmogamy flower, the sex organs are exposed out. Okay. And the flowers are called as chesmogamous flower. In this flower, both the self pollination and cross pollination both also will be occur. Make a note it. CHASMO, chesmogamy. Here the pollination is occur in open flower. Okay, which expose their sex organs. This kind of open flowers when they expose the sex organs. These flowers are called as chesmogamous flower. Here, both the self pollination, okay, and cross pollination will be occur. Okay, so this is what about the what? The what is chesmogamy, self pollination and cross pollination. Okay, now yes. So self pollination. We'll discuss about self pollination. Yes. Yes. See.
Yes, ma'am.
So first we'll go with the self pollination and we'll go with the cross pollination. First self pollination, we know transfer of pollen grains of the, what is that? Same flower. It's called as autogamy or self pollination. Okay. So self pollination generally inge nadakudhu appdin paathona, surely it takes place in the, what is that? A bisexual flower only. Yes. So what will happen? The flowers will open. The flowers will open and it will expose the, what is that? The anthers and the stigma. So the complete, what is that? The male flower, the pollen grains will be reached to, what is that? A female flower. Okay, now. So the fusion will be takes place and the new gametes will be formed. Okay. In some plants, if you see, for example, oxalis, okay, camelina, so produce two types of flower. One that is the, I told, chesmogamous flowers. Chesmogamous flowers ke example note paniko, oxalis and what is that? In another one the camelina, COMMELINA. Okay, இதுல வந்து two types of flowers இருக்கும். ஒன்னு வந்து chesmogamous flowers, another one வந்து clistogamous flower. One is chesmogamous, clistogamous flowers. Okay, so what is the clistogamous flowers na? Here the anther, the flower when clistogamous flower, when the anther decays in the flower bud, the pollen grains come in contact with the stigma. Okay, stigma and affect the pollination. And clistogamous flowers are, okay, it is different from what is that? Autogamous. There is no chance of, what is that? A cross pollination. In clistogamous flowers, okay, the seed, okay, here there is no pollinators will be involved. ஓகே, செஸ்மோகேமஸ் ஃப்ளவர் அண்ட் கிளிஸ்டோகேமஸ் ஃப்ளவர். செஸ்மோகேமஸ் ஃப்ளவர் வந்து என்ன பண்ணும்னா இட் வில் ஓப்பன் அவுட். ஃப்ளவர்ஸ் வந்து ஓப்பன் ஃப்ளவர். ஸோ செக்ஸ் ஆர்கன்ஸ் ஆர் எக்ஸ்போஸ்ட் அவுட். ஸோ இன் சச் கேஸ் வாட் வில் ஹேப்பன்? த மேல் அண்ட் ஃபீமேல் ஃபியூஷன் டேக்ஸ் பிளேஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ இது வந்து இன் கிளிஸ்டோகேமஸ் ஃப்ளவர்ல வந்து the dehiscence of anther takes place in the bud condition itself. Clistogamous flowers, the dehiscence of anther which is takes place in the where? During the bud condition only. Okay, so bud condition itself, that flower dehiscence takes place. So chance cross pollination is not possible. Only the cell pollination will be takes place. And here there is no pollinators also involved here. Pollinators also involved here. So this is what about the clistogamous flower. Example வந்து oxalis comlina. So these are the example of what? Chesmogamous and clistogamous flowers. Okay, so what is the advantages of the cell pollination? Okay, and advantages of பார்க்கும்போது, can you tell me what is the cell pollination உடைய advantages?
Ma'am, there will be no new disease and all occur, ma'am.
இங்க வந்து parental character will be maintained, right?
Parental character will be maintained, no genetic modification.
There is no variation. That is in disadvantageல வந்துரும். Advantage என்ன? Parental character or a purity of race will be followed by, yes, next generation. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
and here the plants no need to produce large number of pollen grains. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, pollen grains வந்து no need to produce large number.
It does not wait for fact the agents, pollinating agents.
Yes, the flowers need not to develop what device for what? Attracting the pollinators. Pollinators attract பண்றதுக்கு எந்த ஒரு டிவைஸும் இங்க டெவலப் ஆக தேவை கிடையாது. Okay, and it ensure the what is that? Seed production. Okay, and the cell pollination என்ன பண்ணுனா it will eliminate some of the bad recessive characters வந்து என்ன பண்ணிக்கும்? Eliminate பண்ணிக்கும். Cell pollination வந்து eliminate the what is that? Some of the bad recessive characters. Okay va? So this is the advantages. Another parental character will be maintained. Okay, the purity race will be maintained. No need to produce large number of pollen grains. Okay, there is no need to attract the insect. There is no need any devices. No need any devices. Okay, and so there is it will avoid what is that? Any bad recessive characters. Bad recessive character. One second, ma. Okay, bad recessive characters வந்து என்ன ஆகும்? Okay, cell pollination வந்து eliminate the what is that? Bad recessive characters. And disadvantages வந்து, okay, what is the disadvantages? The immunity of diseases வந்து என்ன ஆகும்? Decreases. ஆமாவா இல்லையா? ஒரே மாதிரி அடுத்தடுத்து ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆயிட்டே இருந்துச்சுன்னா என்ன ஆகும்? அதுக்கான பிகர்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, இந்த இம்யூனிட்டி என்ன ஆகும்? இம்யூனிட்டி டு டிசீசஸ் வந்து என்ன ஆகும்? டிக்ரீஸ் ஆகும் இல்லையா? ஓகே, சேம் ஒரே ஒரு ட்வின் மாதிரி 10 குழந்தைங்க இருந்தாங்கன்னா கண்டிப்பா அந்த 10வது குழந்தைக்கு என்ன ஆகும்? இம்யூனிட்டி கம்மியா தான் இருக்கும் இல்லையா?
Yes, ma'am.
If you take a 2 twins, one twins will be maximum of, if you observe, one twin will be all right, but one more twin வந்து if you see ஏதாவது ஒரு இது இருக்கும், டிசீசஸ் இருக்கும் இல்லையா?
Yes.
Yes, and there is no variation here. What you told, it's no variability.
No new characters.
So no variationங்கிறதுனால there is adaptability வந்து என்ன ஆகுது? Very less. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is what is that? The disadvantages of the pollination. And next one வந்து what is geotinogamy? GEI, how you will pronounce it? GEITONOGAMY. Okay, the different flower of same plant. Here the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the flower present in the same inflorescence in the same plant. ஒரே இன்ஃப்ளாரசன்ஸ்லயே சேம் பிளான்ட்க்கு இடையில வந்து கிராஸ் பாலினேஷன் நடக்குது. ப்ளீஸ் மேக் a note it. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. The flower which is present in the same inflorescence or in the same plant. Okay, so this type of fusion it takes place, okay, occur between bisexual flowers or unisexual flowers of the same plant. Okay, actually, it is a genetically equivalent to what is that cell pollination only. Almost, it is similar like a cell pollination. Genetically equal like a cell pollination. Okay, so what is that? Geatinogamy, it is a transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the flower present in the what is that? Same inflorescence or in the same plant. Okay, it is takes place between the bisexual or unisexual. Bisexual or between the unisexual flower it takes place of same plant. Make a note of it. And it is genetically equivalent to the cell pollination. The last one is what is that? Xenogamy. Okay, the last one is xenogamy. Here also the transfer of anther to the stigma of the another flower on separate plant of same species. Okay, am I note பண்ணியா? Separate plant of same species. Xenogamy na the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the another flower on separate plant of same species. Okay, so during this type of pollination, genetically, okay, different types of pollen grains will be formed. Pollen grains to be reached to the stigma. Okay, so this type of pollination, we can go with the equivalent to what is that? A cross pollination. Okay, it is a, so it is, we can consider as what is that? A true cross pollination kuda sollikkalam. Okay, na? So these are the what is that about the cell pollination. We'll go with the next outbreeding device and all. Just we'll thorough with the topic and we'll move to the next one. Okay, na? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yes. So what is the pollination? Then only we will
Transfer of
rectify it and we can move. Okay. Uh, what is cell
transfer
pollination? First, what is
transfer of
pollination?
transfer of pollen from anthers to stigma is called pollination.
Yeah, okay, very good. Okay. And the next one, what are the two types of pollination we have?
Self pollination and the cross pollination.
No, no. My question, direct pollination after indirect pollination, right?
Ah, yes.
Yeah. What is a direct pollination?
The ovule is not covered by the ovary. The
Uh,
like in gymnosperms, naked seeds.
there
So it
it takes place. Na?
occurs directly.
Directly it is transfer. Okay. Then the indirect pollination, na?
The pollen grains will fall on the stigma then of the ovary.
Hmm.
Then the pollination takes place, ma'am. The
Okay.
ovule is covered by the ovary.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's
So in
indirect
indirect
pollination.
pollination, how many types? We have two types, right? What are they?
Autogamy,
Autogamy and another one is cross pollination. Kenna the pair another.
xenogamy.
Okay. Cross pollination.
Cross pollination, gymnogamy, chasmogamy, cleistogamy.
Xenogamy or allogamy also we can see. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So what is cell pollination?
Some transfer of pollen to from anther to stigma of the same flower is called a
Yeah,
self
same
pollination.
cell pollination. Okay. So generally where it takes place, cell pollination.
Bisexual flower.
In a bisexual flower. Okay. So how it takes place? Though generally if you see the flowers when they open and it will expose the anther. Okay. And the stigma. Okay. So what happened? So flower when it is open, expose the male and female na automatically what happened? It will fall down. Okay, the pollen grains will be fall to what is that female gamete and the process will be takes place. Okay, the pollen grains when released to the stigma respectively. Okay, and anther will the anther. Okay, the pollen grains will reach the stigma and it is fused together to form what is that a cell pollination will be occur. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes. But in some of the flower there are two types of pollination. I told one is the chesmogamous, another one is the clustogamous. What is that?
Pollination occur in open flower. The sex organs are exposed out. Chasmogamy.
Export. Yes. Okay. Next, chesmogamy.
That is chesmogamy.
Yeah, chesmogamous flowers and clistogamous flowers. In clistogamous, what will happen?
And there is no chance of
Clistogamous.
cross pollination.
Ah,
The pollinators.
the clistogamous flower in the bud condition itself. Make a note of it. In clistogamous,
Inheritance of
the flower, when anther decays in the where? During the bud.
condition.
The anthers are decays in the flower bud. Okay, na? So the pollen grains வந்து என்னது come into contact with the stigma of the plant. Yes, got it? Yes, chesmogamous and clistogamous. Clistogamous வந்து அந்த ஃப்ளவரோட பட் கண்டிஷன்லயே ஆந்தர் வந்து டெகேஸ் ஆகி ஃபீமேல் ரீச் ஆகி பாலினேஷன் நடக்குது. அண்ட் கிளிஸ்டோகேமஸ்ல தான் என்ன நடக்குது? ஆந்தர் மேல் அண்ட் ஃபீமேல் ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன்ஸ் வந்து என்ன ஆகுது? இட் இஸ் எக்ஸ்போஸ்ட் அவுட். ஆர் செக்ஸ் ஆர்கன்ஸ் வந்து எக்ஸ்போஸ்ட் அவுட். எஸ் எஸ் ஆர் நோ? So இந்த chesmogamous வந்து there is a possibility of what is that? Both the cross pollination and also what is that? Cell pollination also. Okay, va?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. And the next one, what are the advantages?
Advantages of self-pollination. The parental characters are obtained or
Okay.
maintained. No need
Uh,
to produce large quantities of pollen grains.
okay.
It does not depend upon the pollinating agents.
Okay. It must கண்டிப்பா
Um,
வந்து என்ன ஆகும்? To produce the it ensure the seed production. கண்டிப்பா seed production வந்து என்ன இருக்கும் அங்க. அங்க டவுட்டே இருக்காது. ஓகேவா?
yes, ma'am.
எஸ். அண்ட் டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜஸ் என்னது?
Immunity of the plant decreases.
ஓகே.
Then no new no new characters, no variations.
Yes. No variation. No variation. It cannot able to survive in the what is that? Different environmental conditions. Okay, na? Yes. Okay. So the next one வந்து என்னது? What is the autogamy we completed, right? And what you mean by geatinogamy? Geitonomy. What do you mean by geatinogamy?
The transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of same flower. It is also called
Flower,
self-pollination.
flower present in the same inflorescence or in the same plant. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
சேம் இன்ஃப்ளாரசன்ஸ்லயும் நடக்கும், சேம் பிளான்ட்லயும் நடக்கும்.
Okay.
ஓகேமா. அண்ட் ஸோ த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து இஃப் யூ சி த ஜாட்டினோகேமி இட் இஸ் அக்கர் பிட்வீன் பைசெக்சுவல் ஃபிளவர் ஆர் வாட் இஸ் தட் யூனிசெக்சுவல் ஃபிளவர் ஆஃப் சேம் பிளான்ட்லயுமே நடக்கும். ஓகே, இது ஜெனட்டிக்கலி இந்த ஜாட்டினோகேமி வந்து இட் இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு செல் பாலினேஷன். த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து என்னது? ஜெனாகேமி. ஜெனாகேமின்னா என்னது? கிராஸ் பாலினேஷன். ஓகேவா? வாட் இஸ் தட்? கிராஸ் பாலினேஷன். ஓகேவா? சோ கிராஸ் பாலினேஷன் என்னது? Transfer of pollen grains from the what is that? Anther of stigma to the different flower. Yes, or a different flower or different plant of same species, right? So during the xenogamy or a cross pollination, you could able to produce what is that? Genetically a different plants. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? So this is what about what is that? The self pollination and cross pollination. So what are the advantages in the cross pollination?
New variations are obtained.
Huh?
New characters.
Yeah, genetical recombination takes place, right?
Genetical
Yes,
recombination.
genetic recombination takes place. So we could able to see more variations. Yes, if more variations are there, now the adaptability will be increased, right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And parents will produce hybrid vigor. What do you mean by hybrid vigor? Better than the parent. Better than the parent. Okay, environmental condition. So that is hybrid vigor. But in a cross pollination, there is less vigor. But in a self pollination, they have a very less vigor. But in the cross pollination, they have what is that? More hybrid vigor they have. And more new, more useful varieties will be produced. Okay, so here the defective characters, that is disease caused one வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மி when it is compared to the self pollination. ஓகேனா?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the next one வந்து what is outbreeding devices? What is outbreeding devices? Up to now, any doubt? What is the two types of pollination, advantages and disadvantages?
No, ma'am.
So what is the outbreeding device we are going to see? What do you mean by outbreeding devices?
Shall we stop from here, ma'am?
Uh-huh.
Shall we stop from here, ma'am?
Okay, we'll see in the next class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just prepare
Because
it
I
and
have
come.
some test tomorrow
Okay,
in my school, ma'am.
okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll wind up. Okay.
Sorry for it, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. We'll close it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. செந்தமிழ் செல்வன்.
డౌట్ మా ఇంకా సిలబస్ రాసారు.
హలో